So I got our breakfast going. Hopefully I'm not burning it. Our little egg McMuffin things here. Now I gotta get them flipped over and off of there. There is a little library up here at Chemin-A-Haut State Park. Ashley's checked them out and she brought a bunch of books to put back in it.
This one's signed by the author. I'm going to stick it in here.
One you had?
Yeah. It's actually an art, so.
Cool. And that's our little library experience at Chemin-A-Haut State Park. One of the trails at Chemin-A-Haut State Park. Right behind the restrooms. So good morning from Chemin-A-Haut State Park. It's probably about 7:15, 7:30. There's our tent. That is a very nice sized tent for how fast it sets up. And when we got here, it started getting chilly, and of course it gets dark early, so it's nice having a big tent like that so you can have your mattress on one side and 2 chairs and a table on the other, so you can sit there and play games and eat and stuff like that. But we're not going to get in any big hurry to leave this morning. We're going to check out the park and chill a little bit longer. I think checkout's 2 o'clock, so we pretty much have the park to ourselves, as you can see. They have very nice restrooms. Big bus over there, little camper over there. Had a pretty peaceful night. Of course, we had some of the normal forest sounds, but we did encounter pretty late last night some wild boar somewhere back in here behind us, and woke me up from a dead sleep. And I did get some of the sound clip recorded of it, but I didn't catch the most intense part. But I'll share that in a video on our YouTube channel later. In fact, I've already posted to the Arkansas Overland Route Trailhawk Loop Facebook group page for members there to hear. And that's where I share a lot of our clips. But yeah, this will be on YouTube too. But I'm going to go back in the tent. I already made our coffee with the Joel. That works great. This little water tank works great, and this is just what I carry all of our coffee making, the Joel, teas, and hot chocolates off it in there real nice. But pretty much that's our morning view of the park, what's going on with us, and so we'll share more of the park here later on, and then we'll hit the trail again whenever we get everything packed up. Have a good one. Stay tuned. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. That helps these videos being made and coming to you. Well, we have everything packed up. I think it was like a little bit after 10. And we're going to drive around the park a little bit and check it out. And then we're going to get on the trail. This is the cabin section. Really nice cabins. Get this out of the way.
That one out there on that jetty, that's perfect. Oh, there's two of them like that. That one's probably even better.
That is the cabins.
Oh, look at those patios. Those are so nice.
Pretty big. I think there's one on each side, maybe, or is it each?
Nope. So
there's only one entrance.
Yeah.
And this is right down from the campground we just stayed at. And there was a ATV coming down the road. Huh. But right in here, I think it was, there's a little, maybe this is the walking trail. It comes from our campground, kinda. There's a trail there. And then off in the woods up here is a little playground that we didn't even know was here. Where was that at? If you look over there, the campers and the restroom, that's where we was camped. And then right here, somewhere, okay, right here is a little playground for the kids. So that's this section of Chemin-A-Haut State Park. So we do have a video on our channel already about this park. When we mapped the Overland Route, we came through here. Really pretty park. And this park has a pool, which is right over there, seasonal of course. Some more playground stuff for the kids. Oh, looks like there are some more cabins. These are smaller cabins. Volleyball net over there. That goes up into the cabin area. Really cute little cabins. Trail right here. So we're coming back out of the cabin area. Got some day use area over here. Lots of picnic tables all the way around. Looks like we're coming to a loop. Don't forget, this is where that great big cypress tree is that people actually kayak into the trunk. But you've got some restrooms. It's like a big grill right there. Some more playground stuff. Got a big barbecue grill on this pavilion here. Picnic tables. Imagine you rent these things out. Another one way back here by itself. And looks like this road might go around this way. Might just go to this pavilion. I think it just goes to this pavilion. Maybe not. Okay, so you come down here, you got your trails, and that one goes to the castle tree, which I was talking about you kayak into.
Looks like you can drive down there. There was another vehicle.
So Dalu, last time we did this video, we didn't come on to this section. Big nice area of the lake you could play in with the kayaks. Got a little dock right there and a boat ramp. And you say you think you can drive down there?
There's a truck down there.
So it looks like another access. Pretty big round parking area. And I would say there's a boat ramp down here. Yes, pretty steep boat ramp. Alright, so we've been all the way through the park except for one of the group camp areas. And I've thought about if I do a group trail ride along the Arkansas Overland Route, there might be worth reserving the group camp area as one of our stops. That way everybody can use facilities, get showers, and that kind of stuff. And if there's kids, they would enjoy playing around this park. So I'm going to pause the video till we turn into the group camp area. So we will see you in a minute. Okay, as you go out, you see where you enter right there, and you go out right there. Campgrounds to the right, and this is the group area back here, and some of it had burned last time we was here. Not sure what that is back there. That's park personnel only, so that's people running the park, I guess, live back there. Not sure what that is.
It says group camp
Oh, it's a
area.
group camp area. So I guess you can rent out that house to camp in. But back here is kind of a, I think it's just electric maybe. More of a dispersed feel to camping. But it's a loop that you can reserve. Picnic tables. I see water. It doesn't look like they repaired their restrooms over there. You'd have to drive to or walk to the other restrooms. But you'd have this whole area to your group. I think they get that fixed. Looks like there's some lights. So there's some electricity there somewhere. There's boxes. But that's Chemin-A-Haut State Park for y'all. We will head toward the Arkansas Overland Route. So it's not too far out of Chemin-A-Haut State Park that you're going to come back and hit the trail again. And this is kind of like a U, a little detour off of the trail you've already taken to go to the park. And then you're going to do just a little bit of backtracking before you get back on the Arkansas Overland Route. Well, this is the Arkansas Overland Route, but you're going to backtrack some of it until you turn to start heading to Bastrop. But this is all, last time we were here, this was all like this. So we're still backtracking. This is the road that goes to the Ouachita Wildlife Refuge, where I kept saying that it was flooded last time we were here. We didn't get to go, but this time we did, and we also explored a new road that went to some ponds. I think it was Haggerty Pond or something like that. But we're fixing to turn left up here on another dirt road, and that's going to pick up where we left off and eventually take us to Bastrop. Won't be too much longer, and our turn is coming up.
Somebody in front of us.
Yeah, there's a tractor up there. tablet, and when my cell dropped GPS, the inReach continued to stay connected. So we are turning left on Prairie the Butt Road. So far,
Prairie Butte.
nice wide road so far. I do believe later on, or further on down, this one is one that can get pretty bad. But we'll see when we get there. You see, it's not all gravel though. It's got a lot of clay, dirt in it. But this will go on for a little while. Yeah, so you can tell by looking up there that it can get bad. Plus, they timber this out. The big semis and trailers going up and down the road can make some good potholes. Now, I will say this. Some of the paved roads that we travel on this route are rougher than some of these dirt roads. And also, on some of the paved roads, there's potholes you better be watching for because they can blow your tire if you hit them just right. Looks like our GPS finally picked back up. Tell this section here, when it's muddy, it gets bad. Section right here that has been bad recently. Oh, that was deep. Probably about as bad as we're going to see. Like I said, it hasn't been raining. And you see some more sections up here that's been muddy. I'm not a fan of mud, so I try private property over there not to do a whole lot of running when it's really muddy. I don't know what this is in the road up here. A bunch of dead ducks. I ain't going back to record that. Some beautiful mallards. I bet there's over a dozen back there.
Poaching.
just like I said on this route, you never know what type of terrain you're going to get. You know, it all depends on weather. It can be really nice and smooth, or like it could be like this, or it could be way worse. You just never know. Some pretty green field coming up.
Oh man. Over here there's water. Where is that water? What is that?
Something on top of the... No, when we come through and when we routed this route, or when we mapped this route, right through here was pretty bad. Not so much now, but bumpy. It was actually a little bit muddy when we came through last time. But anyway, I'm not going to map all these roads. We've done it before. Or I'm not going to film all these roads. We have done it before. But this section can get pretty bad, so I thought I'd go ahead and map some of it. And we will continue on. So this is Dobson's Park. This is as you're going through Bastrop on the Arkansas Overland Route. Last time we stopped in Bastrop and ate, but we had so much food in our fridge that we really didn't need to, and probably what we had is better anyway. So we've been snacking as we came to Bastrop. And this is a place, like I said, off of the Arkansas Overland Route that you could bring the kids, have a quick stop, stretch your legs, let the kids play. We needed to get rid of our chicken bag that we've been eating on, so really nice little park. And it's not going to be long after this park we go over the Ouachita River and we're turned right, and then another ride onto dirt, head back in Arkansas. Those teeter-totters over there. Walk down there and see. Stretch our legs. Looks like there's padlocks on. We'll see. Well, let's go see, make sure. There's also a picnic area behind it down there. Somebody spent some time blowing the pine needles up around the pine trees, making it look good. Basketball court down there. Huh?
Do you not smell the cleaner?
Mm-hmm. Really nice place to have a picnic. And sometimes, probably during the warm season, those bathrooms may be open, or maybe just when they have games, I don't know. But we're gonna head back to the Jeep. This is a good place to come stretch your legs. And I said if you have kids with you, a good place to let them play so they aren't totally bored just riding all the time. And let your pet explore. But we're going to, like I said, go back to the Grand Cherokee Trailhawk and go over Ouachita River and go get back on some dirt road. And the roads we're fixing to get, there's, I think, some of my favorite sections. But we'll share later. Alright, we left the little park. We're going through the last part of Bastrop. If I'm pronouncing that right. And a little bit we'll be going over the Ouachita River. And there's a little neighborhood off to the right that we went around last time. I think it's actually mapped. And that's a pretty cool little place. It's like a little island, developed island with houses and stuff. It's worth going up in there, looking around. Alright, we decided to go ahead and come through this little neighborhood anyway because it's so pretty through here. You can see over here. Welcome to the island, Bartholomew Woods. And there's more that way. And what we mapped was just a quick circle of the island. Made a right here, and we just made a loop. Really cool neighborhood. Snowman Frosty lives here. Ouachita River's over to the right. I don't think you could see it unless you live in those houses over there. But I thought it was cool because it's surrounded by the Ouachita River and thus called an island.
It's a really pretty house.
And it doesn't take but a few minutes to drive through here. We've got a golf cart up here.
Dog breathing hard, not me.
According to the map, the river's really close off to the right.
Yeah, it's.
But you just can't see it because of all the houses.
It's right
in their backyard.
Yeah. See it here. We came in on the bridge right here, so it is completely surrounded by the Ouachita River. Alright, so where we turned, we left Bastrop, or Bastrop. And then we turned at a gas station, a Sonic, and a Springs grocery store, all right there at the corner where you turn. And that's where I refueled. And then after you turn, come out of the gas station, you're going to, there's a recreation area somewhere down there. This is where you're going to cross the Ouachita River to start the route again. This is actually part of the route. You're going to turn at this store right here. I actually dropped GPS signal here and passed it because I forgot this is where I turned. But this is going to go up to dirt road right here. So don't miss your turn.
So we picked up dirt again. This is just right off the main road where you turn off the pavement onto the dirt. This looks like it's kind of wet.
He stopped right here to change batteries, but look what I saw. Do you see the turtles?
I'm having a time keeping my GoPro batteries charged. Really pretty. Now this is one of my favorite sections, and it can get pretty bad. But you know, it's been, when I mapped this 4 years ago, it's been a while since we've been back down here. But if there's any highlights, we'll be sure to capture them. But right now it just looks like a normal gravel road. You can tell by looking at this, if it's muddy or been raining, it can be nasty. Let's see what we have here. A little squishy. Nothing major. So you see a little mud here. Luckily it's not too bad. Enough to get the Jeep wheels muddy. Well, as we went through the mud back there, my GoPro battery died again. Now you see right here how bad this can get. This is very slippery right now. And this is that old clay, so it gets really slippery. It wasn't nothing very bad, it was just nasty mud.
little bit more mud coming up. Looks like we might be able to go around the majority of it. Somebody's been playing right here. Ooh, hang on. Dude, yeah, that snuck up on me. A little bit sloppy. Real slow through here. Gotten ate out pretty good since the last time we was here. I think I'm gonna go ahead and lift up a little bit. Slippery, slippery. That's a hole right there. Must have rained up here a little more than I saw. It is definitely slippery through here. Woohoo! Bumpy! Be making a right up here. So that just goes to show, you know, as far as I know, it hasn't rained in a bit, and that road is pretty nasty. You definitely don't want to come down this road in two-wheel drive. And right here at the intersection, we make a right. Rut it out a little bit right here. We'll run this just a little bit and then we'll make a left. Getting really nasty right up here. I'm gonna put the phone down so I can use both hands. Okay, we just came through this little section right here. And I hadn't lifted the ground all the way up. So when we came through, you can see our ruts, the deepest ruts there. We did bottom out a little bit. You can see how deep it is back there. But we come through it no problem. And if I would have lifted it up a little bit more. So I went ahead and, until we get through these ruts that's up here, I'll put it on the highest setting. But there shouldn't be too much of this bad stuff, I wouldn't think. But you can see the ruts up there. I'll try to ride the high side. So you see there's more mud, and up above us, in front of us, is more ruts. And I got something clicking on my front side over here. I don't know if a rock got up in there or what, but I really can't stop here and pay much attention to it. So we're gonna keep going and try to get to that park. So we made it through those last real deep ruts, and then on up there's another mud hole, small little mud hole. Went off in it a little bit, and it was way deeper than I thought it was going to be. The clicking that was on the front driver's side went away, so I'm thinking it was just a rock stuck in somewhere, and it finally worked its way out. But coming through this section of the Arkansas Overland Route, it can be pretty bad. Now I can lift my Cherokee up to 11.5 to close to 12 inches of ground clearance. So that helped on those sections back there. But we're going to continue on through this part of the Trailhawk Loop. On around that curve up there will be, oh, that is the right, never mind. It looks like it's not as muddy now, so I'm going to quit recording. If we run across something else, I'll start recording. It's just bumpy through here. Very bumpy. See another section here that can be yucky at times. Luckily right now it doesn't look too bad. It looks like it may have been graded recently, or some fresh dirt dumped. Not a problem here. Looks like this goes quite a ways, and like I said, this is fresh dump right here. Alright guys, we have made it to the road that's going to start running alongside the Ouachita River. Thought we'd stop right here and get a beautiful picture through here. You can actually get down and launch into this. But we have made it through. I don't think we'll come across anything as muddy as that section was. That was deep enough that if I was going through a bunch of that stuff, I would have removed that bottom fascia. You can see that it dragged. But it wasn't near that bad when I came through there and, you know, mapped it. But the Grand Cherokee went through it like a champion, you know, no issues. The extra ground clearance when I jacked it up was nice. I felt like that helped a lot. And some of them ruts, you know, if we would have fell off in them, I don't think jacked up all the way like we would have bottomed out. But that first time I didn't raise it all the way, and we did bottom out, but we're fully skid plate underneath there, so we good to go. Click and stopped. I guess it was a rock in the brake or something. But we're going to continue on. There's a place up here, and it may be right here, I don't know, we'll see, but there's a place up here called Hooker Hope. Thought we'd pull on up in here. There's a road that comes alongside this. Got a little dock there. Looks like it comes on around. It's just an access to this river area. Yeah, we're not gonna go up in there, but it looks like it turns around right there. Good mud hole right there. But man, it's beautiful. So we're gonna back up to that little dock and let the boy out to stretch his legs. Let the boy out to stretch his legs. You want with me? Thought we'd check out this little, this is like the perfect place to launch a kayak. You see that little slit right there? You going with me or you staying there?
I'm staying.
Carry your kayak down here, set it off right in there. You have a handle to help you get off in there. And here you go. You can kayak and explore all of this. And I would almost bet you could pull in there and camp for a night. You got a truck with a rooftop tent or a vehicle with a rooftop tent. I bet you could camp here overnight. Probably set a tent up, but boat ramp over there. All right. You enjoying yourself, boy? Them rocks are hard on your feet, ain't they?
He said, I want to get in the water. Mama wouldn't let me.
Another beautiful place on the Arkansas Overland Route Trailhawk Loop section. You see that dot? Well, we're right there, but that says Hooker Hole. So I'm gonna walk the rest of the way. We come down that, and it gets pretty muddy down here, and I definitely don't want to try to go through that. And I don't want to go under that. I don't know if we'd fit or not. Not sure the best way for me to walk across this is. They're tires. People have been stuck here. Looks like I need to come around this way maybe. You can see big four-wheeler side-by-sides come through here. But who doesn't want to see Hooker Hole, right? Look at all the grapevine. So I decided I'd just get out of the vehicle, make a quick little hike, and see what this Hooker Hole is all about. And I do believe we're arriving at Hooker Hole. Tell people been here fishing. I bring you Hooker Hole. Now let's go back to the Jeep. Alright guys, we are pulling out of Hooker Hole. Some pretty moss in the trees there. And then I believe we're supposed to make a right on this nice gravel road. And this will run all the way to, I done forgot the name of the park. Really pretty little park. Nice set of bathrooms up on the hill. A lot of moss growing in the cypress trees. I really like that little park. But this road will run along the side of the Ouachita River for quite a ways, and the road will be like this the whole way. You can see we are right beside the river. I think there's a couple spots you can actually pull off to the right and fish. Ouachita River. The moss in the trees as you go is pretty. It won't be long, we'll be at that little park. Smooth sailing all the way to the park. Okay, we're at the little park. Oh, the moss hanging on the trees. This is a beautiful area right here. It has some pit toilets up there. There's some picnic tables and stuff like that over there. Nice little place to stretch your legs. After you leave that little park we was at, you will drive quite a few miles of pavement, and the trail lost some of its gravel to pavement. And after a ways though, you do pick back up on some dirt roads. As you can see, they can be bad at times. We are continuing on up here at that stop sign. I believe we're going to be making a right. We are at Festinal Lock and Dam. You can see a boat ramp right there going into the river. Big parking lot here. And then the lock and dam over here. Restrooms. Wind's blowing pretty good. So as we left Festinal Lock and Dam area, where the boat ramps were, when you're coming out of there, you're gonna make a right on this gravel road and follow it for a ways. Right now it's in good shape. A little bit bumpy, but in good shape. So this road looks pretty good, right? Gravel, nice gravel road, pretty wide. About 23 mile an hour is about as fast as I can go. I don't know if it's because of the bulldozer cleats that's made impressions in the road, but it will jar you to death. We're fixing to make a little ride up here. I'm I'm not sure. I don't remember this part. But there should be a road coming up anytime now. A little bit smoother right through here. Okay, I see a road coming up. With the sign. Ooh. This way is Festinal National Wildlife, and that way is Huddy Pine Flatwoods Natural Area. But we're gonna go the way the route goes, which is this way. Now you do have an option to keep going straight and completely cut this little section here. This is gonna make a U and come back out on that road we just got off of. Now this turn said Jones Lake Access. So we'll travel through this for a little while. Kind of rough. Alright guys, we pretty much have just completed the whole Trailhawk Loop. You turn right here, and it takes you back to Moro Bay State Park. And it's going to be dark here in a little bit, but you see us right here. And then Moro Bay State Park is right there, so you turn right and then you go into the park.